A couple weeks ago, I had another minor back pain incident that was not TMS, but it was tension induced. And so that was an interesting distinction that I wanted to point out today. Basically, there was a couple weeks ago, I was lying down or in some sort of a reclining position when I felt there was a sort of pain in the muscles of my left flank, so near my abdomen. The thing is, after a couple days, that pain went away. But, when I initially felt the pain, my first idea was, oh, I hope this is not, anxiety was that I hope this is not TMS again. But I noticed that I did something very interesting when I first felt the pain this time, is that once I felt the flank pain, I immediately tried to relax into that pain. So, you know how sometimes if there's some part of your body that might be sore or if it hurts, that you might try to move away from that pain in terms of, maybe adjusting your muscles or shifting your position in a way that you do not feel that pain as much. Well, in this case, I actually did the complete opposite, which is once I felt that there was sort of a soreness, I actually just purposely put myself in a position to actually amplify that soreness and really experience all of that soreness, all of that pain. And this, of course, has to do with the whole idea from TMS before, where we talked about where you want to face certain pains head on. And, in the TMS case, we were talking about the underlying cause being some kind of emotional stress, emotional issue, and you having to face learning to face that emotional pain head on in order to cure yourself of this TMS. But in my minor back pain, flank muscle pain case, I actually applied some of that same principle similarly in this case, which was I allowed myself to face head on that flank pain, that muscle pain directly. And by doing this, I feel that that was actually the reason why after a couple of days the pain just went away by itself. The basic idea being that I did not try to avoid this pain. I really just headed straight into this pain and let it sort of hurt, right? And after dealing with this problem sort of very summarily, very quickly in a couple of days, it made me start to realize a couple of things about TMS in a sort of a new light, because it seems like all of this category of TMS-induced pain, it's almost as if I had chosen a different way to deal with my flank pain, which is, once I felt that flank pain, I started to move away from it and shift my body position and sort of avoid that pain in various ways. If I had adopted that same technique from 10 years ago in my life to deal with that pain, I might still be having that flank pain today, and chances are that pain might have started to spread to other parts of my body due to the sort of contortions and all this posture changes that I was adopting to avoid that pain. So the actual act, the very act of trying to avoid pain actually gives rise to TMS. So that was sort of an interesting a thought that I had. And after this whole 7-year back pain process, the TMS back pain process, I now have developed a good habit, in my opinion, of doing the opposite, which is whenever I feel some kind of tension, pain in my body, that I actually walk right into that pain and I start feeling that pain directly, and in some cases even trying to amplify it by like stretching it, purposely stretching it in a way that would really let me. I mean, at the time it really stings and you're sort of like, oh well, this really hurts. But yeah, I found that that's the magic bullet, is that you just have to allow yourself to feel into the pain rather than feel away from the pain. And that's sort of like a sort of a capsule summary of how one can go about learning to deal with TMS. So that's just a short idea I wanted to share today.